Coco Gauff dominates Alexandra Eala 6-0, 6-2 and advances to the Dubai WTA 1000 semifinals. Coco Gauff advanced to the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships semifinals by defeating Alexandra Eala by doubles 6-0 and 6-2 in the quarterfinals. The American faced a crowd that was mostly in favor of the 20-year-old Filipina, who has generated great interest in her matches. The game lasted 67 minutes and took place on Thursday at Dubai local time. The world number 4 applied a psychological tactic to neutralize the applause directed at her opponent. Gauff revealed that she pretended the cries of support were for herself, a strategy she has used on other occasions. Eala's approach helped to maintain concentration throughout the confrontation. The victory marked Gauff's second access to the semifinals in Dubai. Eala overcame an early exit in Doha the previous week and a tight match against Elise Mertens in the previous round of the current tournament. The public filled the stands and generated a vibrant atmosphere. Gauff valued the massive presence of spectators after years of participating in the event. She praised the positive impact of Eala's rise on the circuit. The American highlighted that the Filipina attracts new fans and enriches women's tennis. Gauff encouraged the crowd to maintain their enthusiasm. Eala considered supporting the local player beneficial for the growth of the sport. Coco Gauff had kind words for Alex Eala and her fans after beating her in Dubai. "Thank you guys for coming out here. I know you were mostly supporting Alex, but I have to say, it's great to be on a crowded court. I've played this tournament for many years and to see the stadium, pic.twitter.com/ULVMS88JWP. The Tennis Letter, at the Tennis Letter, February 19, 2026. The American won the first 10 games and set an aggressive pace from the start. Eala won 77% of the points with the first serve and converted 6 of 9 break points. Eala scored in the second set, but was unable to threaten her opponent's serve consistently. Gauff maintained pressure on returns and prevented any significant recovery. The confrontation represented the first singles duel between the two on the WTA circuit. Elas have already performed together in pairs at the 2025 Internazionale BNL d'Italia. Gauff has won 16 of his last 17 games against lefties. The American made few unforced errors in the duel. Eala had difficulty creating break opportunities. The Filipina consolidated her rise with previous victories over Jasmine Paolini and Sorana Cîrstea. Eala reached the quarterfinals after eliminating the former tournament champion. Eala has been attracting crowds since the semifinal in Miami last season. Sua's debut at this year's Australian Open also filled the stadium. The campaign in Dubai guarantees important points. Eala is expected to rise to position 32 in the WTA rankings after the tournament. Gauff faces Alina Svitolina in the semifinal. The two have already met in the quarterfinals of Australian Open, with the Ukrainian winning by an impressive score. Svitolina, past champion in Dubai, turned a set against Antonia Ruzic in the other quarterfinal. Eala advanced with authority into the night. The game offers a chance for a rematch for the American. Gauff is looking to improve its performance on Orient Medio this season. Gauff thanked Eala for bringing a new audience to tennis. Eala encouraged continued support for the young Filipina. The American recognized her opponent's talent. Eala stated that Eala's growth benefits the entire women's circuit. The tournament continues with high-level semifinals. Gauff is aiming for a place in the WTA 1000 decision. On a warm desert evening in the shimmering city of Dubai, where glass towers catch the last blush of sunset and the air hums with anticipation, the hard courts of the Dubai Tennis Championships became a stage for a rising storm. Under the floodlights, with the skyline glowing like a constellation of ambition, Coco Gauff delivered a performance that felt less like a match and more like a declaration. Across the net stood Alexandra Eala, young, fearless, and already carrying the hopes of a nation. The scoreline would later read 6-0, 6-2. But numbers alone could not capture the electricity of the moment, nor the layered story of two prodigies meeting at different points in their ascent. The opening movement, a symphony in white lines. From the first toss of the ball, Gauff's presence was unmistakable. There is a particular silence that falls over a crowd when it senses something extraordinary brewing, a quiet sharpened by expectation. That hush descended as Gauff struck her opening serve. The ball exploded off her racket with the crisp authority of someone who knows exactly who she is becoming. It was not just pace, it was purpose. Each serve carved the court into angles that Eala strained to chase, her sneakers squeaking in urgent arcs across the blue surface. Gauff's footwork was poetry in motion. She glided rather than ran, pivoted rather than stumbled. Every baseline exchange became a controlled storm, her forehand whipping cross-court with a ferocity that left chalk dust trembling. Within minutes, the scoreboard ticked forward relentlessly. 6-0. A bagel, as tennis folklore playfully calls it. But there was nothing playful about the precision. Gauff's first set was a masterclass in controlled aggression, returns struck early, backhands redirected with surgical calm, net approaches executed with fearless clarity. Yet even in domination, there was artistry. She wasn't merely overpowering, she was constructing. Points unfolded like carefully plotted narratives, each shot a sentence driving toward an inevitable conclusion. Alexandra Eala, the courage beneath the score. For Eala, the opening set was baptism by fire. But within that furnace flickered undeniable courage. At just 19, Eala has already etched her name into tennis history as a former junior Grand Slam champion, carrying the banner of Philippine tennis with both pride and pressure. Facing Gauff in a WTA 1000 quarterfinal was not merely another match, it was a glimpse into the level required to stay among the elite. If the first set belonged wholly to Gauff, the second revealed Eala's resilience. She began to swing freer, stepping inside the baseline, daring to redirect Gauff's pace down the line. A backhand winner here. A gutsy hold of serve there. When Eala captured her first game of the night, the crowd responded with appreciative applause, a recognition not of triumph, but of tenacity. Her eyes flashed with determination, jaw set, shoulders squared. She refused to fold quietly. And yet, greatness has its own gravity. Gauff's command, beyond power. What separates a top contender from the field is not simply power, it is timing. Gauff sensed every shift in momentum like a seasoned conductor guiding an orchestra back into harmony. When Eala threatened to extend rallies, Gauff shortened them with daring net approaches. When the exchanges lengthened, she outlasted her opponent with patience that belied her age. At 20, she plays with the composure of someone who has already stood in the brightest lights, Grand Slam finals, roaring stadiums, global scrutiny, and learned how to breathe within them. Her backhand, often cited as one of the cleanest in modern tennis, cut through the desert air like a blade. Cross-court, down the line, on the run, it remained unwavering. Even under pressure, it refused to tremble. The second set drifted toward its inevitable close. 4-2, 5-2. The murmurs in the crowd turned into applause that built with each passing point. Match.